My Talk 1071's Project Down and Dirty is in its 13th year. What started out as a reality show on the radio when all the hosts were packed into a trailer on the Minnesota State Fairgrounds has continued to grow every year. From military training to rock concerts, running a restaurant, to operating construction equipment, performing a musical, to being zookeepers, and almost everything in between. Project Down and Dirty has asked a lot of the My Talk hosts. Every year brings different dirty jobs and new drama as our hosts get out of the radio studio for some fun, with the ultimate goal of raising money for some amazing charities. This year's event is all about pickleball. This past week, all our hosts and producers have spent time learning how to play pickleball and practicing their skills leading up to the big pickleball tournament tonight. Jason and Alexis have been raising funds for Big Brothers Big Sisters Twin Cities, and they sat down with the CEO, Pat Sookum, to learn more about the charity.
Hi, Pat. Sook it now.
It's so natural.
Yeah, we were just trying to figure out, how to remember your last name.
Yeah.
Which is Sookum.
Yep.
Yes. CEO of Big Brother, Big Sisters, Twin Cities. Mm-hmm. So if you're okay with that, you're now Sookie now.
I'll take it. Let's
right
go.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Little morning juice.
Sookie.
We've got our Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Twin Cities bling. Thank you, courtesy of Pat.
We are so excited to shed a light on just the stuff that you guys do, raise money, raise awareness. So let's just start with the basics. What is your mission?
Sure. The mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters is to ignite the power and promise for all youth.
By connecting bigs and littles.
Yep. So we work with the community and littles or kids and their families, and we match them with adult volunteers. So we create one-to-one mentoring relationships. We have some group programs as well, but we know that every child benefits from having an additional caring adult in their life. And so really what we do and the art of what we do is creating relationships. So we make sure that we're understanding the little and their family and their needs and their preferences and what their goals are. And we're working with the bigs to say, what are you looking for in a relationship as well? And then the matchmaking happens. Then we bring it together. We offer a lot of free programming for the bigs and the littles to attend together. We want to make sure that it's no cost for the families involved. And we want to make sure that we're nurturing the relationship, offering opportunities to explore, as well as clearly keeping it safe, making sure that we've got all the precautions in place as well.
Yeah, so pickleball, for example, would that be an activity that a big and little would do together through Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Yeah, we actually have a pickleball event later this month, exactly that, for matches to come together.
Yeah.
Some will have played, some will be learning, some matches can teach other matches. So it's really sort of an organic, social network that kind of forms in there too. Yeah, and I mean, we see everyone involved has, whether it's changing their life or affirming their life, but yeah, it's for the littles and their families and the impact on the bigs, which I'm speaking to, I'm sure Jason would speak to, it's such a ripple effect into the world of really, when you invest in community, when you invest in youth, we all benefit. Dollars that are brought in do help us recruit more volunteers, right? Like we said, we've got that big waiting list. We want to make sure we're bringing adults in to say, yeah, they can experience Big Brothers, Big Sisters as well. And then all that relationship building, right? All that keeping it safe, right? We want to make sure that we're offering a top class experience through all that. And it does cost money. And so absolutely, we love people who join our work and our mission by giving their time, but the dollars are so important. They're crucial to keeping the program running and making sure it is valuable and brings value to everyone.
Gets the word out. Gets the word out.
Yeah. And you said that for the littles, it's no cost programming.
Yep.
And so part of your donation would go to that no cost programming for the littles.
Yeah, we want them to show up and play pickleball, right? We want them to explore science and the arts and just hang out and have fun. And yeah, it all is fueled by community in so many ways, including very, very generous donors.
Well, we're very excited. Yay!
Oh my gosh, I love the high five.
You can head on over to mytalk1071.com and enter keyword project to learn more about Big Brothers Big Sisters. Donna and Steve have been raising money for Special Olympics Minnesota this week. Here's part of their conversation with Adam from the organization.
Hi, everybody. Hey, it's Donna and Steve. We are here with Dave Dorn, who is the CEO of Special Olympics Minnesota, our charity partner for Project Down and Dirty Pickleball.
It's great to be partnering with you guys. Many people know, they've heard of the Special Olympics, the Special Olympics of Minnesota. I'm not sure if everybody, though they've heard of the brand, understands what happens all throughout the year. What do you tell people when they say, oh, well, what do you do at Special Olympics? How do you answer that?
Yeah, that's a great question, because that is probably our biggest hurdle, is we do have a great recognizable brand and people feel good about it, but they don't know what we're all about. That it is every day of the week, and it is for everyone. I mean, the big push for us is over the last 10 years and going forward is about unified activities that promote inclusion. So unified sports are sports that are people with and without disabilities playing on the same team.
I would imagine the unified aspects serves both parties. Everybody that's involved in these competitive events probably stands to gain quite a bit.
Oh, you know, you're spot on, because what you see in these clubs and on these teams is the roster is made up of the kids that are in the special education track or have IEPs, and there might be 20, 25, but the rest, you might see 200 of the other kids. And these are kids that are active, but also kids that are not active in any other sport. So our athletes draw as a magnet to bring people in, and they think they're doing one thing, but actually what happens is that they're all doing something together and everybody really benefits, and it changes whole school cultures and changes kids on both tracks, both in the general ed population and the kids in the special ed program.
You guys won the bid for the 2026
We did.
U.S. Special Olympics here.
Yes, and so it's every 4 years, and it's one of the largest properties in the Special Olympics movement, and it's covered by ESPN. You know, we bid on that so that we could really shine the light on Special Olympics and really showcase what we're all about. There's 4,000 athletes that come in from all 50 states, and these are athletes with and without disabilities. A lot of unified activities. It'll be a spectacular experience, a great week, but also the years leading up to it, and then the years beyond will be a great thing for our state.
I view much of life having 4 kids through the perspective of a parent. What stands out to you? What's sort of an overarching theme that parents say, you know, when my kids got involved in this is the change that I saw?
The biggest common theme, because everybody's so unique, right? And we have athletes at such a wide spectrum of capabilities and talents. Most importantly, it's the confidence that they gain in being a part of something, training for something, and having success, and the belonging that they have as far as a team and community. Those have been the testimonies that you see across the board.
That's awesome. Our goal is to help raise a lot of money for you guys.
We like that too.
To spread the awareness, and ultimately we're going to dominate the competition in the name of the Special Olympics. I don't know if that's, well, okay, hang on, that might not be in the spirit of the Special Olympics. Maybe we should dial that down.
Oh no, winning's good.
Okay, great, then fine, then we're coming for you. Dave, great to talk with you.
Thank you
so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you for what you do.
You can learn more about Special Olympics Minnesota by going to mytalk1071.com, enter keyword project. Bradley and Don's charity partner this week was Brave Like Gabe. Brave Like Gabe Executive Director Alicia talked with Bradley and Don about what they do and why they do it.
This is Alicia Hawkins. She is from Brave Like Gabe, the Executive Director, and our charity this year for our big pickleball tournament. We're so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be part of it. Thanks for having us.
So can you get people up to speed with what Brave Like Gabe is?
Absolutely. So we are a small nonprofit based here in the Twin Cities, and our mission is to raise awareness and funds for rare cancer research and to empower cancer survivors to stay active. It was started by a woman named Gabrielle Grunwald. She was a runner here at the University of Minnesota. When she was in college, she herself was diagnosed with a rare cancer. When you're diagnosed with a rare disease, there aren't many people around you with that same disease. And in fact, you sit in an exam room and have a physician say, we don't have a lot of research, we don't have a treatment, we don't have a cure for what you're about to face. And that can be lonely, isolating. And the gift of that story brought people together online in a way that I think only that kind of brave honesty can do.
I love just the focus on physical activity, not only as a means to help you heal or to keep your body strong, but also I imagine it helps the mind. Can you talk a little bit about how the organization helps people unleash that physical activity in their own lives or the opportunities that you give people?
Great question. As a runner myself, I will say it's the cheapest therapy around. Gabe's initial base was really runners. She was a professional athlete. She had her sights set on the Olympics. And so she felt like being able to move her body during her treatments helped her feel like herself, helped her clear her mind. And so one of the things she did when she started the organization was host a race. So we have a 5K here in St. Paul every year. Everyone is welcome.
And the funds that they raise go toward research for rare cancers.
So all the money donated to Brave Like Gabe supports rare cancer research. If you buy a t-shirt, if you register for our 5K, if you send a donation, our goal is to spend more money on research every year than it takes to operate the organization. And last week I sat in a presentation with Dr. Moriarty. It is his lab at the University of Minnesota doing this research, and he uses the word cure. And I stopped him and said, "Are you for real?" And he said, "Yes." It's funding like that from Brave Like Gabe and many others that helps get them through this science process to real treatments and cures, and it's possible. Gabe's mantra really was, it's okay to struggle. It's not okay to give up.
Well, we're so glad that we, found the organization and could link up with you to help you. And we know that My Talkers will love to help you as well.
We're so excited.
Awesome.
Great.
Alicia, thank you so much.
Thank you both
For
so
sure.
Go to mytalk1071.com and enter keyword project to learn more about Brave Like Gabe. Lori and Julia have been working to raise money for SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education. And here's more about SAVE's important mission.
Okay, hey everybody. You've probably heard us talking to Eric Mischie, who's the executive director of SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education.
That's right.
Tell us about the organization and what is this money going to do?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having us, and thanks for having SAVE be one of the recipients of this year's
You're welcome.
Project Down and Dirty. SAVE has been around for a little over 34 years.
That many years?
Yeah, many years.
Okay.
It was started by a group of 6 families who all had been personally touched by suicide. These 6 families put SAVE together, and its goal really was to do 2 things. One was to work on raising awareness and providing education and resources to help save lives, to prevent suicide.
Right.
And the second piece of that was to provide resources to suicide loss survivors so that they could understand the dynamics behind suicide so that they could get resources and counseling and access to the kind of support that families up until that point really were not getting.
Yeah, I wish my family had known about SAVE 13 years ago when my sister's oldest son took his life, and then 5 years, almost to the day, my other sister's son took his life. And what I didn't realize until after the second suicide was the ideation, putting that out there, that it really, we should have had all of the kids, so many of our family members should have been immediately in counseling.
Yeah.
There was so much shame and guilt and grief and anger, so it's such a complicated grief. It was almost a relief. We felt like not to talk about it, but what we were doing was, there were a lot of family members that were really struggling, and people just didn't recognize it or realize it.
I grew up in a generation where you didn't talk about mental illness. And
Depression, anything.
You didn't talk about that. 44 years ago, I had my first personal experience with suicide when my best friend, Alan, killed himself. Oh. And 44 years ago, nobody talked about suicide. You didn't talk about it. You also didn't talk about the underlying cause, which was the mental illness that ultimately led him to make this desperate decision to take his life. 44 years later, that stigma is much less, but it's not completely gone. We talk about mental illness today. We talk about needing to take care of yourself, going and getting help. Over 95% of Americans believe that suicide is preventable.
Yes.
And at SAVE, we believe that 100% of suicides are preventable. That doesn't mean that we're successful 100% of the time, but it does mean that everybody should have an opportunity to get the help they need to be able to have a better life. And those are our friends, those are our family, those are our coworkers, those are our neighbors, those are us. And so what I would say is if you want to be in this fight is check us out at save.org, take a look at what we're doing, consider supporting us in some way, maybe a board member, come to one of our events, make a donation, but most of all, more importantly than anything else, take the time to learn about suicide and what you can do to help prevent it and what you can do to help save a life.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're wonderful.
Go to mytalk1071.com and enter keyword project to learn more about SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education. Using keyword project at mytalk1071.com will take you to the Project Down and Dirty homepage, where you can still donate to any of our wonderful charity partners. This year's Project Down and Dirty has been a huge success because of all you dedicated My Talkers. You never cease to amaze us with your generosity and engagement. It's because of you that Project Down and Dirty continues to be a huge success year after year.